What up, Raider Nation? Coach Gravy's in the house on a stogie with gravy Tuesday. Taco slash Taco Tuesday, Torta Tuesday, whatever you want. Hey, pumped up today. Feel good. Finally get to have my coffee. Have some blood tests today. And we're gonna get busy. We're gonna get busy today, talk about some things that I got concerned with my mind, some stuff that I've been hearing, you know, some stuff that I've been hearing about, not real big stuff. I'm not gonna break news or anything like that, but stuff that I concern that has something to do with me. But hey, man, give me the thumbs up if you can hear me and see me correct, and then see if everything's working. What's good? So I'm gonna get to the chat. I got somebody that I want to get on because I got some questions about. He had a show yesterday. I don't want to question his show. He has a wonderful show, and I'm gonna send him a link. Stay right there, my boy. Stay right there, my boy. I'm gonna talk to you. But I just met the guy in Bakersfield. But that's what I wanted to talk about first, man. Bakersfield, personally, me myself, I was on the show Sunday evening, and we had a wonderful, great time. I met a lot of people, and if I forgot who I met, I think I forgot one dude that I thought I didn't see was LV. LV was a great dude, big old boy, man. He's a big boy, and him and his girlfriend or his little wifey, I don't know who that was real sweet. It was sweet meeting him. Chris Ford Raiders, Jack Kenner, him and his tall ass, and Dubs, and all those people, man. I can't say, thank you enough for really asking me. How was I doing? They knew the situation that I was in with my transplant, and they're wishing me good health and things like that, man. That was real special. I was just so happy that they were concerned about me. All of them asked me, and I would just real appreciate that. Raider Nation is deep, and we care about each other. So we need to extend that, man, to certain people. Some people, we need to extend that and make sure that we're rolling like that as far as Raider Nation is concerned. We got to be concerned about people and care about people. I understand things may happen. Relationships may dwindle and things like that, but that vibe over there was great, and I liked it, and I'm pretty sure that everybody else did. So, and without that, I'm gonna send a link to my boy, a guy I met, and we'll handle it real quick. There we go. He got it. I'm gonna send it right now. There you go, my boy. You get on with me, and we'll see what's up. But anyways, man, wonderful day here in Fresno. Did my blood test, everything panned out cool. Now I got my coffee and I got my stogie lit. So whatever you guys are smoking, whatever you guys are doing, let me know. I know it's early and you guys don't get down to business like that, but hey, I ain't got back to work yet. But I want to tell everybody what's up in the chat, man. See who's here. We got about 12 people up in here. See what's going on. That's good. That's good for this morning. Not early for me. I get up early. Ready, Paul. What's up, man? Raiders. There you go. Rosetown. What's up, man? Rosetown Native. What's up, bro? How you doing? Raiders full Chris. Wonderful to me. Kicking with you, bro. We were kicking it. My boy Cash Lord. What's up, bro? I was gonna reach out to you, bro, because I was getting shit about this car stuff and I needed you, bro. But you know what it is, bro. You know what it is. I don't want to talk about DC no more. What up with my boy Jers, man? I've been watching you on your podcast, bro. You guys are getting hilarious, bro. You guys are getting hilarious, so it's fun, bro. I enjoy watching it. I support it, bro. We support it. And I'm glad you guys benefited from that feed. We let you kick. So hey, always, man. We always want to bring our stuff up. We go Ready Paul again, Cash Lord, bro. Everybody telling what's up. Ready Pete, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here with me this morning. Hey, bring it in. Tell everybody, man. Hey, you guys, this show is powered by the Raider Nation Live. It's right here on the corner right there, man. And then over here on this corner, we got where we're at, bro. A Raider Gay 420. What up, Low? And Coach Gravy, man. Each of us have our own shows. So you could support that show and get us some subs, man. I've been lacking on my show, but all three of us are in Raider Nation Live, so we benefit from what you guys do and help us out any way you can, man. Subbing, liking, let's get that going, man. All the time, I'm gonna pump that up because I'm the only one that has time to be on here. My other guys are working and stuff. ACL double X Cycle, what's up, man? What up, Gravy? How you doing, bro? I'm gonna pull that up in a little bit, bro. I'm gonna pull that up in a little bit. Rosetown and Europe saying what's up to each other, bro. We got this. Hey, special people. Tell people that Gravy's on, man. What up, Gravy and all the Raiders Nation? Just pulled up real quick for a minute, but got to go as always. Fuck the Queens, fuck the Queens, fuck the Queens. Fuck the Queens. But you know, man, deep down inside, bro, the Chiefs are gonna be pretty good again. It's gonna be. We got to knock them off. We have to knock them guys off. And we got to do it just not once at a time. We got to dominate. We got to dominate the game so people don't think that we're no joke. Right off the bat, man, off the home opener, we got to set the tone for this division and say, you know what? We're going to bust that ass against San Diego. And I've been looking at some tickets. I'm looking at, we plan on going to the Dallas game. But, man, there's a big difference between the Dallas game and the home opener. Shoot, hundreds and hundreds of dollars. But I was telling you, man, you look on Allegiant Airlines, they got packages for those games. They got packages for those games right there. And then if you look at it, and they're real beneficial, you know, you got to look at the price. You're gonna say, wow, you know, but for a ticket, room, 2-day minimum room. And then you get all the accommodations, like you know, you stay at the Mandalay Bay or something like that. You're cool. You know, you're cool. What up, Omar? How you doing, bro? Hey, fantasy coming up, man. I'm getting a lot of phone calls for fantasy, getting a lot of hit ups for fantasy. It's a ways away. Not that bad. I'll gotta start concentrating on it. So I'm gonna get at you, bro. I got my team already set, bro. If I get it. But good to see you, Omar, bro. Good to see you, bro. I'm happy to see you. Ready Pete's in the house, man, saying, Gravy, 2 positions do you think it could benefit from us doing ads? Hey, Pete, let me tell you something about what I might be the only run. I might be the only one, bro. And I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but check this out. What I've heard about June 1, it's always been around, okay? And like June 1st cuts are teams that are like they get rid of the people June 1st because they're on a budget and they can't afford these guys and then they let them go. They're gonna be older guys. You're not gonna see ballers, get June 1st cut. There might be a trade involved, and you inherit the contract, kind of. But Cash Lord said he's going to the Raider game. What's up? Raider Dallas game. Let's go, bro. Look at their packages on there, man. It benefits you. And taking the fam with you. It's good. It's real beneficial because all my kids pop out the woodwork saying, I'm a Dallas fan now. Don't fuck all that. My baby's a Raider fan. She rolling with me. She getting paid for it because she's a Raider fan. And, be a Raider Dallas fan. My seed wasn't strong at that area. With me, it's deep. Raider Biggs, what's up, man? Thank you for being here. But the Juners, it's not like we're going to get somebody June 1st, bro, and they're going to do it for cheap because, you got to think about it. You got to think, hey, well, there might be an older player, a baller, but the reason why he's getting cut June 1st is the benefit that other team. And if a team has money, he's not going to rarely take a pay cut, to be on another team. It ain't going to be like, oh, we can't say that the Raiders, we'll get this guy because he takes a discount for the Raiders, vet minimum and shit. That's not going to happen. The reason why they're getting released or cut, June 1st cut date, is because they make a lot of money and it's not pertaining to their salary cap. So it ain't like they're going to be a cheaper player. They might do that. You know what I mean? It's usually players that make a shitload of money, that made a shit. They're on their second, third contract. They're older players, maybe, but it's going to be different. That link ain't working, bro. Let me get at you again. Now, Leo. What is it saying, Leo? Because this is what I'd say when I hit the invite. When I hit invite on my side, it says that link. We're gonna straighten this out. What up, Leo? Well, now you know Leo's gonna be my guest. I know how to do that. Well, check it out. What's good, Raider Biggs? How you doing, man? Good to see you. But that's my view on that, man. Everybody saying what's up, man. That's great. That's great. Let me know if it works or not, man. I don't know what the glitch is on there. I got to talk about it right now, Leo, because Leo's the guest, so he's going to come on, try to come on. I don't know what's wrong with that link. Error 404. I don't know what that is. Is that on your end? And we'll go. I don't know what that is, bro. Someone let me know. All my videos freezing. I can see myself. It might be. There he is. There, my boy. It was on his end. Anyways, man, it was a pleasure to meet this dude. We always have a great time with each other. My boy, we want to talk about what our topics were and have a question about the show that I was watching yesterday. My boy Leo, what's up, man?
What up, man?
How you doing? You straighten that out?
Straighten it out, big dog. Straighten it out.
It wasn't me, bro.
Nah, it's never you, dog. Never.
How you doing, man? How's everything? How's everything going since we've seen each other on Saturday?
Man, it's cool. It was good seeing you guys, man. I wish I would have had more time to kick it with y'all, but with my homie not going, I had to stay and help my girl do a lot of the stuff. So yeah,
it was a pleasure seeing you. You're a big little boy right there, bro. Take tight end and stuff. I said, get your hands going. He knew exactly what I was saying about go give him a target, bro. Give him a target. And then I see other videos. He won some stuff, right?
Yeah, bro. He won a
mug and all that
on the bingo on the raffle, and then he won the bingo game. and he went up there. He was helping trying to win that Raiders Cowboys tickets. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He run Cowboys and Raider tickets.
No, he almost did. Nathan won them.
Oh,
LV Raider 10.
LV won that. I heard LV won that, right?
LV won that. But him and my nephew were working together. Yeah.
Oh, they're going together then. They're going together.
That's what my nephew told him. Hey, you better take me.
Yeah, you got that little young lady with him though, but she might be on that. LV had that his little young lady with her. I'm
right. Uh-huh.
What up, Myra?
Yeah, man.
My girl Myra's up early, probably doing something. And then the something, Myra. I heard you had a blast over there. What's up, Lil? Tell me.
You guys went home right after that, right? You guys didn't go to no after party?
Yeah, we had to drive. It's not that far of a drive, bro, but so with my condition, I started feeling it a little bit. The next day, bro, I was feeling it.
I was gonna say that he didn't get to you because it was hot inside. It was hotter inside than outside.
It was warm inside. It was just like I can't sit down for a long time, and we're doing all that, and then we're sitting up, and then sitting down. I got to do. And then after a while, I got to lay down, and so I couldn't do that. And that was the little. I tried, and I didn't bitch about it, but I didn't have enough pills for me to. I didn't have enough pills for me to kick it. So.
That's
what
cool,
up,
though,
Thor,
man?
My boy Thor in the house. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here with us, bro. Thanks for being here with us.
It was glad to see y'all chilling like that, man. I saw Myra kicking it with y'all. Y'all was there with the 805 and had a bunch of people come through, and I'm glad you got to do the little podcasting. How was the sound though? Did they get to hear everybody?
I bet it was rough. It was rough a little bit in the beginning, but we just had to notch it out. I leave that up to Low, bro. Low knows all. He DJs and shit, and then he figures it all out. I just stay out of his way, bro. If I even try to plug something in or anything like that, he'll say, "Get out of my way."
Okay. All right.
He'll get it. Hey, what up, Myra out there? AMC Raider, man. What a pleasure to have this special person on my show, bro. You told him.
That's the homie.
What up,
right there,
Raider,
bro.
man? You're doing a great job, man. Big up to you, and the way you're growing, man, is amazing, bro. Big ups to you for that.
Yeah, it was too bad he couldn't make it out to Bakersfield. He was trying to, but he couldn't.
Yeah, it would have been good to see him out there, play with them a little bit, have a stogie. The stogie game was cool. I didn't get to get with you. I brought you one, but
I know, man.
You were moving.
I was moving around. I was doing the sales, and then taking care of the boy too. The boy, he would get bored. I had to walk him around.
I just make it. Your wife and your boy was selling all that stuff. You was out there, man. You weren't doing. I kept telling you that. I go, what are you doing, man? You supposed to be out there helping them out.
Oh,
and then your wife walks by. I go, why don't you tell him to get to work? Why don't you tell him to get to work? Took a little break.
Yeah, but it was cool seeing the nation out there, bro. It was cool meeting Jeremy Chin, though. That was cool seeing Jeremy Chin. Yeah.
He's a big boy. He's a big guy.
Yeah, a big boy. He's solid. Yeah. It was cool the way they showed him how to do the chant, though, because he didn't know it.
He didn't know the chat. He didn't know the Raider chat.
Yeah, I remember he didn't know how to say it. Like, he said it like kind of soft. And then Lorenzo was like, nah, bro.
I probably was outside.
Yeah.
I probably was outside, bro.
I think you were. Yeah, Lorenzo had to show him how to do it. I think he just said, like, Raider and something like that. And Lorenzo was like, nah, bro. Like, you got to put more bass into that shit.
That's not good, bro.
Yeah.
That's not good in my eyes, bro.
Why?
He don't know the nation, bro. What's up?
Well, that was his first time, bro. I think that was his first time kicking in with the nation like that. So, from what I heard, he had a good time. He loved it. He loved the nation. He was definitely looking forward to doing it again, he said. So, that was cool, man. He had a good time. I mean, it's different. You got to imagine. He played on the Redskins, bro. He came from that team to the Raider Nation. That's a big fucking difference. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, nobody does it the way we do.
I think Rosetown's right, bro. What up, Raider Deb? How you doing, sweetie? I think there it is, right there, bro.
No, but he got it by the end. By the end, the last chant he did it right. The last one he did it right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, he should have knew he signed his freaking contract, bro. He should have yelled out Raiders and knew how to do that shit when his contract was signed.
That's funny
I
because
question Jeremy Chin now, bro. You don't know
a lot of us fans think that they should know it, right? Because it's like it's the Raider Nation. How the fuck don't you know? Yeah, I get it though. Yeah, go, man. I thought about that. The ones you clip on, I'm gonna get one of those for the season, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely gonna get one of those.
The thing about that though is that if you do a show like we were and you live, bro.
Yeah.
If you ain't got one of them little cameras, like Jay had and LV had,
right?
I'll be outside and I'll be outside and I could be talking shit, and then everybody's gonna hear it, unless I put the microphone out. So with me, I'll probably forget. I'll probably forget, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would be bad with them little microphones, bro.
Right? I know MC Raider carries one all the time, so I have to be careful what I say when he's on because he's always filming. You don't know when that fool's filming. So you're right. You got to be careful.
And what's up, my opinion? What's up, man? How you doing?
What up, my opinion? What up, Raider Pete?
I was watching your show yesterday. I was watching your show yesterday with all them good, all them good guys on there.
Yeah. Shout out to Will, man. I met him up in the Bay.
Read it.
He's cool.
Okay. I don't know who it was, but I love Ascent. I wanted Ascent. We didn't get the value at. You questioned them. We didn't get the value at Ascent at 6.
I did.
Mm-hmm. And I said, what the hell? Leo's letting that happen? Then I heard your response and I go, all right, Leo's in it. Leo's in it. And then,
and to me, the value always depended on who else was left, right? When we got to 6. Right? To me, it was either him. At that point, when we were at 6, he was the only one that made sense to me. Obviously, I wanted my boy and it didn't happen. But he's the one that made the most sense. My boy Shador. Yeah.
At 6?
Oh, come on, man. I had been saying that. I mean, obviously, it's gone past.
That's why I probably wasn't paying attention to what you were saying.
But no, yeah, man. And it's crazy because the value is the main part people I think don't get. Because there's people saying that there's a lot of us content creators and Rady fans saying don't take Genty at 6. But it wasn't because we don't think he's good. It's the value of a number 6 pick. That's the thing we were saying, right? Like you want that to be 6-8 year player. Running backs don't last that long, bro. Yeah. And in
your mind, it was Shador Sanders.
I mean, as a fan, bro. That was me as a fan, not as like a analyst type shit. That was me as a fanboy. If that makes sense. But
your analyst type for reals.
My analyst was like, "No, I wouldn't know. I would have."
Fantasy land, you was in as a
analyst. Yes, exactly.
So for reals, you didn't want him. Because I
wouldn't have been mad, but I would have questioned it. Because then at that point, your 6th pick is gonna sit for a year or 2.
Yeah.
So now you're really talking about value, right?
People were saying, well, Mason Graham would have been value when basically we were thinking that our defensive line was set, right?
Right.
But we're just adding to the good shit, but we didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing right there. We're 32nd in rushing. I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but
you were saying we was bad at stopping the run.
To make people realize, bro, we scored 7 touchdowns, and 2 of them were by quarterbacks. So we scored 5 touchdowns in one season in running game.
Right.
Last in every category, just about bottom 3.
Yeah.
So get a running back. It's obvious. You have to.
Right.
Even I heard on your show, bro, and it was a great show. Real informative. You guys are working good together. Yeah. But it was like the value of getting a linebacker, at that wasn't value. That's not value. The only thing that would have been valuable just the same as Genty would have been an offensive lineman to me.
Yeah. Offensive lineman, or to me, even the fact that Will Johnson fell based on the injury, because the corner would have been good to me, right? Because
that value of Will Johnson, because you brought up the injury, so you were informed with that. You brought up the injury. You kind of stopped them a little bit.
And he stopped them, yeah.
Well, yeah. And I said, yeah, Leo's getting busy, and then,
yeah. I mean, you look about Denver picked a corner, right? And they have PS2, so that just shows you like what having a secondary can do to a team, right? How quick you can turn that shit around with a good defense. Yeah, I wanted Graham, don't get me wrong, but you should talk to 805, bro. He had a big old talk with me before the draft about why not to get Graham, about his concerns about Mason Graham. That fool basically talked me out of wanting Mason Graham. that day.
Hmm?
Yeah.
What did he talk you into? Because I was talking to 805 about the same thing.
He didn't talk me into it, but he was had me really think about if Graham was gonna be the dude I thought he was gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's lighting the ass. He has to get bigger to be in this game because he's going to be hitting against 300-something pound linemen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard he was already
I don't
gassed
think-
out too at some of the practices, right? Throwing up and shit, like not in shape. That's not
That's a
good.
learning process. I'm sure a bunch of rookies. It's different, bro. It's different.
Mhm.
And then that's why I'm so like not pissed off, but I'm kind of like, wow, man, all these expectations for Genty. He has to get 1,600 yards or he's not the value that we need. You know, but I said, you know what? If the dude gets, I even said it, dude, Sunday. If I said if Genty gets close, 900 yards, 800 yards, but he gets like 50 touchdowns or 12 touchdowns, I'll be cool with that.
You'd be
It's
cool with
not
that?
about rushing yards, bro. It's not. That's good. Everybody thinks that rushing yards could be a fantasy thing, but what do you make more points on, Leo, in fantasy, bro?
Oh man,
Touchdowns,
Shoot.
right?
Touchdowns, bro.
right?
Touchdowns. Yeah.
And that pretend you score. You don't win nothing when you're getting a 120 yards. You could get 120 yards in the game and still lose the game.
Right.
But if you score two, 3 touchdowns in a game, and you're gonna probably win the game. That means your running game is gone when you're scoring touchdowns. But it works in both ways. And I go, the guy scores touchdowns, he can't get tackled. The obvious choice is to freaking pick the guy. But you know what? Before, bro, to be honest with you, before I would say we need to get, because I didn't think we could get Genty. I thought Genty would be gone, but all over the place, the people were saying that the dude was the 3rd best player in the draft.
Yeah. A lot of people had him ranked that high. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What up, 805, man? Good to meet you. Nice to see you, bro. Thank you for being here. Raider Dad. A lot of people question.
It's crazy when you think about like what we expect performance rushing wise, right? How many rushing yards, how many receiving yards, how many touchdowns. Like to me, at the end of the day, I want to be able to have a balanced attack this year, a run game. But we didn't have last year. We didn't have no fucking run game. You know, if Genty can create that run game for us, you know, get in the end zone. And the red zone, how bad were we? You said that all year. We argued about that shit all the time.
The bottom three for years, bro. Right? For years, even with DC, bro. And this is gonna rowdy a lot of people. Even with that dude, we were bad in the red zone. You know, the only time we were good in the red zone is when we had a guy like Crabtree. Crabtree was a red zone. Mm-hmm. Adams was a red zone guy. Guys like that. And then who did we pick second round? Guys like a guy like that, bro. Crabtree. I mimic best. Everybody's saying a white guy. You know what I mean? He's a white Crabtree. He's strong. His hands are strong.
Oh, you think he's like Crab? Crab was fucking good.
Just watch it. Yeah. Crabtree was a real good route runner. He wasn't super fast.
No.
But I say he's like a white dude.
Clean. Crab had one of the best route running trees, bro, you would see in the league. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was the thing that he had.
So was Devontae. Devontae route running, his first step was amazing. Mm-hmm. And that's how he got you. You know, that's how he got you. He worked on that so much. And he made other players be like that. And so that's what I see Best is. And I think, you know, since we're talking about the draft, I think that Best is going to be our slot right off the bat, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people have him end up being a starter, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They end up being a starter.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel?
You know what? When we picked him, I wasn't too happy. Maybe because I wanted a corner at that point or something like that. But the more I learned about him, the more I see. I guess the first thing that came on my mind, that's the kid from the story. Like about his brother. That's a cool story. Like I get it. It was a nice story, this and that. But like, is he the type of receiver we needed? Like I wanted to do with size. You know, I wanted a fucking monster. But then when you see that he's got those hands, he doesn't drop the ball, you know, the type of receiver that he's going to be. And then when we drafted the next receiver, I saw what they were trying to do with our receiving core. Because we were small, bro. We were small in the ass in wide receiving role. So the fact that they addressed that in the draft made me feel so much better. And then I am excited for him now with our second round pick. I mean, and the fact that we traded down, you know, and added those other picks to it, I think makes it even better. the way we were still able to land him and then get those O linemen and the other players that we got. Mm-hmm.
My opinion. What's up, man? How you doing? Oh yeah, my boy D Menace. What's up, man? How
Hey,
you
what
doing?
up, D-Man? Man, I didn't see you in Bakersfield, dog. I thought he was gonna come out. He always makes it to the
Yeah, I
events.
hit him up, man. I check in with
Yeah?
everybody that's good with me, man. I check if
Yeah,
D Menace
yeah.
is a solid dude. You probably met D Menace at a game or two, huh?
Oh, I've met him numerous times, bro.
Yeah.
We've smoked at games, at events.
That's my
At the
dude,
Alley
dude.
Takeover, he brought me a beer, dog. You saw I couldn't leave the booth.
Oh, he brought you a beer. He don't bring me
brought me a
beer. He
beer.
brings me something else.
Yeah, he brings other stuff too. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. He's the go-to
Yeah,
man.
he's 100.
D
bro.
Menace, what's up, man? Good to see you in the chat, bro. I'm glad you're doing things and you just take care of everything, bro. Let's go. Let's see each other at the games or something like that. Keep it pushing, bro. That's what I always tell him.
Yeah.
1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns for Tracy Jr. He likes.
I think he meant Genty. It probably autocorrect.
I don't think Genty's not a junior.
Yeah, what does it mean, Tracy Jr.? For real, Tracy Jr.
What up, Red Ryan? D Menace again. Cash Lord, what's up, my Fresno partner? Thank you. He's being a moderator today too. He's not that busy. Raider Deb again. But yeah, man, I appreciated you backing up the philosophy. It's not my philosophy, but
Right.
backing up that the value of Genty wasn't important. You know, I guess that gentleman on your show wanted to go a different way. He wanted to trade down. I heard that a lot, Leo.
A lot of people wanted to trade
down. But
Yeah.
to me, you got to look at this guy's production, Leo, that the guy did something that nobody has ever done in football, bro. He did a lot of shit that nobody has done, you know. And he's on our team now, and I'm glad, but there's still people out there saying, man, we messed up. He ain't going to do shit, and I don't like hearing that.
Right.
Before he even gets busy, bro, we're already doing that downplaying. We should have got this. We're going to say that, Leo. A lot of people are going to say that. We should have did this. Because he might start off rocky.
Right.
You know? He might start off rocky, but
I think that's
we
the other
got him.
part too. It's like it's one or the other. Either he's going to be shitty, or then there's people that are already making him rookie of the year. Like, bro, he's a rookie. Like, let him get a few games in. Let him get some NFL contact. You know, see if he's going to be able to break tackles the way he did in college. Let him adjust to the speed of the game, and then we'll see. You know what he's going to be. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
that's a good. I see Rock is in there. Welcome, Rock. How you doing, brother? He goes,
Yeah.
that's a good
And
way
I think
to
that's
look
the
at
part
it.
people get twisted when we say that about Genty. They think that we don't like. It's not I don't like him. It's just it goes back to what you say about the value. You know,
The
I
value,
understand what he did in college. I understand the running back. that he
But
was.
what value is a number 6 pick when he was by everybody,
The third best
everybody,
player in the draft. Yeah,
the third best player overall in the draft.
I mean, we did that last year. Brock Bowers was considered one of the top best players in the draft, and he fell to us in the fucking 13. Was it 13? Yeah.
And you know what, bro? The people that were content creators saying, "Oh, we messed up getting Bowers." I know who they are, but I
when we took Bowers,
when we got Bowers,
bro,
because it was a big thing because we already had
Michael Mayer,
and then why are we doing this and all that,
bro?
That dude was special, bro. They ain't gonna be a tight end like that.
If you watch college football, you knew who the fuck Brock Bowers was, bro.
And he did this shit when he was a freshman, bro.
A tight end.
He was a freshman doing that shit, bro.
Yeah, Brock Bowers had been balling in Georgia for fucking the minute.
There ain't nobody like that. There ain't nobody like that. So we got two of them that did shit that no one's done. And Brock Bowers did. It didn't look like Brock Bowers played better in the pros with higher skilled level than he did in college. He was doing shit.
Oh yeah, he didn't lose a step. Yeah, yeah. And you saw that whenever he touched the ball, and even the way the Raiders were able to use him, which makes me excited, bro. About like when you see Chip Kelly coming in here now instead of that asshole we had last year at coordinator. Like now, Chip I think can be able to use these guys to their best ability. And
hey, bro, don't talk about Norv Turner like that, bro. Don't talk
about not Norv, the one before him, bro.
Oh, okay. I ain't gonna let nobody talk about Norv Turner, man, on my show, bro.
Why you got so much love for Norv, man? He ain't been like
we had the best.
90s.
Look back when Norv Turner was coaching the Raiders. We had the best running game in football.
Oh, okay. You going to when he coached the Raiders?
Every time Norv Turner was involved in something, he led the league in rushing. And what
I know
happened?
he's the
What
one that
happened
led
to Sincere McCormick? Since Sincere McCormick popped out when Norv Turner was involved.
Yeah. No,
in the
once the
running
Turners took over, it was way different. Yeah.
game. I would say Norv Turner. I really wouldn't say his son, but I think Norv Turner really guided him in the right direction because he wasn't ready, bro. He was a quarterback coach, you know. And then when you really structure it, you're not involved in a running game really. You're probably the mash and the handoffs and what you got to do with footwork and stuff. But he was working with Minshew and O'Connell, bro.
And O'Connell.
Yeah. So,
And Ritter, forget Ritter.
I don't want to. That just makes me depressed, bro. When you say that. What up, Chris? That's your boy, Chris.
What up, Chris?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure Chris knows already, but he was a subject. Chris wasn't even there, bro, but he was a topic of every content creator in Bakersfield. That was weird to me. I go, Chris ain't even here. Leave him alone. It was fun. It was funny, bro. There's a lot of pictures that ain't you that they said. There was a dude walking around. You see, remember that? Did you see that? I said, if he comes around me one more time, I'm gonna take a picture, and I'm sure somebody did. I don't know if you've seen that already.
Yeah.
Let me know if you've seen them.
Yeah, there was a couple people. There was one that looked like Chris. There was one that looked like Jay.
Chris was a hot topic. I don't know if you're watching our show, but Myra put. I don't want to say, but Myra put a picture of Chris on our camera like this. It was Chris.
Not the B-More one.
Huh?
The one in Baltimore?
He was all chest naked.
Ah, man, no, she didn't put my boy out there like that.
Your boy's out there like that, bro. But I know Chris has a sense of humor, man.
Those are supposed to stay in the chat, bro.
I was tripping. I don't put people out there. I love Chris, bro. He's a good dude, but he was a subject, bro. That's how much he's loved, bro.
Right.
If I was put out there like that, that's how much people love him, man. So that's cool. But yeah, man, I was checking out that show when I was driving, and then it was a great show, Leo. You protected like I know I wasn't involved in it, but you protected my stance on where I feel in the running game, bro, because it's an important part of our, we have to have that. Yeah. You tell me any team that didn't have a running game that did anything.
Oh no, but you saw it in the Super Bowl. Right?
Yeah.
How important the fuck? Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
And then, all these, Pacheco ain't the man. Hunt ain't the man. So now we figured out what's up.
You know what? That's what has not worried, but it has me open my eyes when you look at the Chargers now and who they drafted. When they got Omari and Hampton, like, oh shit. Like, oh damn, watch out. Yeah.
Omari and Hampton is a great running back. I'm not saying that he's not. But he went to a perfect situation.
That's what I'm saying. Yes.
But I could guarantee you this. If the Chargers were picking in front of the Raiders, they would have got Janty over Amari and Hampton. I know.
Oh, yeah. If he would have been there for them, no question. You imagine a coach like Harbaugh would have done
with that guy, with Hampton?
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Another big subject, bro. Another big subject is, I don't know why it is, but it involves coaching. So I'm gonna be all up in it, and that's basically what I wanted to talk about my show. Hey, check it out though. Get at my boy Leo. Hey, D Menace, if you're in here or any mod that's in here for Red Nation Live, check it out. Leo, you can do it. I don't know how to do that shit, but I appreciate you being on here. You
appreciate you having me this morning, bro.
Put your math in there, man, so people could check out who you are. Everybody knows who you are, bro.
Oh, D-Man has got it. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
You're a popular person around everywhere. So you're more popular than I am.
Oh man, it's crazy too. Like when I talk to James, that's who you're talking about, who I was arguing with. I get where he comes from though, because that's from frustration. It's from frustration, and then you getting told a lot to be hopeful and watch with the new regime. And we say that every year. We said that last year. We said that when Josh McDaniels came. Like, and after a while, that shit gets fucking irritating. It gets annoying after a while, right? Mm-hmm. Especially the way when you think about how bad we've messed up first round picks from the Gruden era. Yeah. I mean, not including Bowers. We hit on Bowers. Last year was cool. But before that, we was missing, bro. We was swinging and missing on a lot of these picks. So I get the frustration or the questioning of why we do this, why we do that. We need this, we need that. And I think that to me, it started last year with Bowers. Why did we get a tight end? We don't need a fucking tight end.
And then now it's different.
That's when we have, right? Now he's everyone's fucking favorite.
Yeah, but I hope that happens with Genty. It's a tougher position.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot. I understand the expectations, but sometimes they're outlandish, bro. They're outlandish on what they want to do and what's going to happen. But I understand what you're saying about the gentleman that was on your show saying, all right, we could have traded down, got more picks.
Right.
But you see, we did that. We got the best person we could got that was a valuable pick in my book.
Can't be mad at that. Yeah.
And then we did what everybody wanted to do the second round. You know, we inherited the third round pick we lost from getting Geno.
Right.
And we got 2 offensive linemen, you know, with the pick for the third round that we had. And then we got the other one we got 2 offensive linemen in the third round, which was great. We got an aggressive, balling out, football loving wide receiver that I dig. That's going to start right away. You know, I said this one. I mentioned it once on a show a couple of weeks ago. You know, after the draft a little bit, bro. And I said that, you know what, Jacoby Myers is up for a contract, right? And he's a wonderful player. He's a wonderful player for us. And I've said it that this dude is a replacement.
He could be.
He's a replacement for Jacoby Myers. That's why I think that we got replacements for the guys that are in contracts right now. Besh, look at. Don't drop the football. You know, Jacoby Myers never drops a football. He's money when he catches it. Good route running. He's not burner. And then you got Miller, and then we got the guy Grant. That's a balling ass zone read, you know, RPO type, you know, tackle that could be with Miller. So I'm expecting maybe 1-year contract for both these guys. You know, 1-year contract for Miller and a 1-year contract for Jacoby.
Right.
As much as we love him, as much as we love them, we fall in love with players. You know that, right?
All the time, bro. We're Raider fans.
Yeah, we're Raider fans. I understand it, but sometimes it gets really, really out of hand.
Right.
And
you know what? You shouldn't be mad. Say a lot of people will get mad if we don't re-sign Jacoby, right? And because we replace him with the rookie. But you got to think of it team-wise, how much money you saved doing that. You think about how much receivers are making nowadays, right? You're talking about saving 25, 30 mil that you can invest in another position, right? A linebacker. We're all crying for linebackers, right? Or even a fucking O-line. You know, solidify that inside shit. But like, they don't want to hear that because no, we love Jacoby. We can't let him go.
Nobody loves a linebacker on our team. We love Spillane. Right? We love Spillane, and he's gone. You know.
Right.
So
Trayvon, I understand because to me, 50 mil was crazy. How much Carolina gave that dude, right?
Morig, yeah. But see, I had a different view of Morig from the get, bro. I didn't think he was balling out. I didn't think that.
Me either. Not 50 mil balling out.
Being a second round pick, bro, and the way I view picks is that, you know, first, second, third round, you got to be in the game playing. You got to be productive in the game. You got to be out there.
Havoc, creating turnovers.
If there's a problem with the offensive line, boom, get in there. You're right there. First, second, third round.
Man.
Yeah. You know, fourth round, development starts. You're not big enough. You know, you just need a little bit of work. You know, then fifth and sixth and seventh, you start. All right, you're gonna develop into a backup role, or you're gonna start. You know,
right?
I don't give no shit to 7th round picks or free agents. You know, free agents that are out there. I don't. If you do that, like Pal Mal, I'll give him love, dude, because he busted.
Oh yeah, because you worked your way to that position.
He busted his ass to do that, and that's hard to do in the NFL. Yeah, that's hard to do. That's just the coaching in me. I know how much it takes for you to be a free agent, not picked, and then move up all the way to a starting role. Pal Mal deserves that credit. And I ain't never gonna knock them for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like even when people expect you get drafted 6th, 7th round, like you should be producing. I think it's like how you said at that point, you're a project, right? There's things you need to work on in order to make this
work.
thing.
You need a little bit of work.
You gotta work in order to make this team.
But it goes from the 4th and 5th round a little bit 2.
Little.
All right,
Right.
we're gonna develop you into this, and the 6 and 7, like that.
Yeah.
But if you're a 4th round pick and you're an offensive lineman, you just need a little bit of fine tuning up. Because there's a lot of offensive linemen out there, Leo, that are starting for teams that are 4th round picks, 5th round picks. They just needed that extra coaching. NFL type coach is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's way different in the NFL than it is. They don't got the time, to be, coaching you up. You just got to get it.
Yeah.
And the faster you don't get it, they'll get rid of you, bro. Somebody else is going to take your job.
Who was it? I think it was it Kuntz or JPJ? Somebody was with Max, and they were talking about that, like what a difference is when you come to the NFL, right? It's kind of like, I think it was Kuntz, how they'll have like a certain a workout routine for everyone. That's insane. He's like, but when you come to the NFL, you're a grown ass man. Like, you need to make sure you do your program.
You got to do it. You're not getting babysitted no more, bro.
Yeah, you're not. Exactly. You're not being babysitted anymore. Yeah. And I think that's where they were talking about. That's when I thought they were throwing shots at Tyree. Because they said, like, the ones that are willing to do the work and listen are the ones that develop. There's some fools that will continue to do things the same way. And they don't. And they were talking about the D-line, and I was like, man, this was talking about Tyree Wilson.
They are. Yeah, that's what they're doing, bro. They don't want to say no names because it'll be a big thing. And then if somebody does, he deserves it because he's not getting better, bro. He's not getting better. How many times have we said, just the fact, and I don't understand why people do this, is that, Leo, as that, if you're going to sit there and say, well, he needs to develop, and you're the number what was he? 8, 7, 6?
7.
7? Yeah. And there's no development there, bro.
Right.
And then what's even more stupider is that we drafted a hurt player.
Yeah.
That's even more stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're saying, oh, this is his 3rd year, but really he's on his 2nd year because the 1st year don't count. Yes, it does to me. Like, we were stupid enough to draft a hurt player, and then we're hoping that he turns into this guy.
Right.
But I understand why they keep him around because he's massive. They don't make guys like that.
Right. You hope that you can get that size to
that guy will come out. But I don't know what their vision was that this guy's going to become something when he wasn't. Mm-hmm. There shouldn't be no development in your number 1 pick. He should be there, already ready to go.
So let me ask you this as a coach. Does that include quarterbacks? Like, should we expect now in this age quarterbacks to automatically
we should not expect we pick a quarterback 1 first. If we pick a quarterback 1, like if we would have got Shadur Sanders 1 at 6, just to add it to it. And like everybody wanted to get,
or even Dart. Say we would have got Dart.
Either one, bro. Either one. Yeah. Geno Smith would compete right off the bat. It wouldn't be no Aiden O'Connell. It wouldn't be none of that. Start is them 2. Put him out there and see what he does. But our owner or so-called owner, which says that he wasn't involved in nothing, that's we could say he has to play. You pick him down. You pick him number 1. They're in the development stage. If you get picked number 1, Cam is going to have the opportunity to play for that team.
Yeah, Cam going to play. Yeah.
And we have a problem at quarterback. We did, but I thought Geno solved that.
I think so too. Well, I wouldn't say solved, but I said he's a solution for right now. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And we got to jump on his back, bro. I see a lot of negatives coming out for Geno Smith. We got to jump on his back, bro.
What's wrong? I don't understand the negative.
What's wrong with them? He just finding negative shit about Geno. He has all these picks and all that and whatever.
Oh, from last year. Yeah.
But hey, he didn't have Pete Carroll.
The red zone turnovers, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He didn't have Pete Carroll last year. Now he does. And when he played his best, who did he have?
That's true.
Pete Carroll is an amazing motivator and a master motivator type guy. He'll get you pumping. He'll get you motivated. Yeah. If you fuck up, it's all right, man. I know how you play. I know how you do things. And this ain't you. Get back into you and let's do it.
Yeah. And if you know Geno's story, you remember he came out of West Virginia?
West Virginia, he was balling out.
He was balling in fucking college. And then he was falling in the draft. And then he ended up on the Jets, right? Fucking bad, horrible team, bro. Mm-hmm. Horrible team. But then once he got with Pete, you saw the change in fucking Geno. And I think that's what I love about Pete as a coach. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But check this out, Leo, if you can. Look at the coaches he had. Look at the coaches he had. He didn't have nobody even close to Pete Carroll.
Oh,
We are
no.
We are so blessed to have this dude as a coach. And I was a Ben Johnson guy, bro.
Mhm.
I was Ben Johnson. Let's get this dude. He's amazing offensively. You know what I mean? He'll bring in somebody defensively to take control of that. And
Right.
I just love the way he did things. And
Yeah.
but Ben Johnson would have decimated this team. You know, we wouldn't have had the same dudes here, but he would have probably kept Max and things like that. But we wouldn't have won a lot of games, and it would have been bad on him. But he would have got his team together. Now Pete, with the limited years he has in coach, you know, I understand. I don't understand, you know, this year, but I thought we was gonna go free all this money in free agency. I wanted to ball out and get some badass dudes, but
Mhm.
I was disappointed in the free agency. But the draft let me know that this guy, the way he picked high and the quality and value of players that he picked in high rounds, this
Mhm.
means these guys are getting dudes that'll make an impact quickly as a rookie, and then their
Right.
second year, this is gonna be just as good to fill in. He got replacements for dudes that are older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all this and I get pissed off when you know, I don't know if you've been hearing what all the Raider Nation is saying. Well, get this Trey Hendrickson guy from the Bengals and all this shit or whatever. I go, what happened to all this love with Kuntz?
Kuntz, yeah.
What happened to all this love with Kuntz, bro?
Yeah.
Now forget Kuntz. Let's get Trey Hendricks. You know what I mean? What happened to all that love? I'm Kuntzed out, bro. I'm ready for Kuntz to ball out.
Oh, I'm ready for Kuntz to come back, bro. Especially when I saw him on the show with Max. Like, you see that bomb they have together. And that shit shows on the fucking field when they're out there together, bro. It really does.
I hope Kuntz has a balling ass day. He's gonna get his money, and we might lose him because if he's that type guy, then.
Well, when we re-signed him, we gave him what 3-year deal right now recently. The one he just got 1 year deal, prove it deal. You're right, 1 year prove it deal.
It was a deservingly so prove it deal. You know,
because you're coming off of that injury, you got to make sure he's good. Yeah,
and then you got 8 games of productivity. That's it.
Yeah.
So I thought it was great. I was very surprised that he did that, bro.
Mm-hmm. Me too. Yeah, I mean that part was crazy to me. Now everyone seems to be wanting to jump off the bridge because of Wilkins. You know, is he gonna play? How hurt is he? He's back in the boot again. Like there goes the season. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that, Leo. He's always gonna be wearing a boot as long as he plays football. With that injury, he's always going to be wearing a boot. Every game, he's going to be in a boot. It's going to hurt him for the rest of his life until he can't take it no more.
Yeah,
because he's a big guy with a foot
problem. That's the dangerous part.
You know, you 300 pounds and you got that little bone. It wasn't a Liz Frank. It was what they say it is.
Yeah, I don't even know what the hell they call it.
It's a pinky toe. It's a separation of the pinky toe area.
Yeah.
And I have friends of mine that have been on that. They had the surgery, 20 years ago, and they still wear a boot after they go out and play flag or basketball or something like that.
But they can move, but they just wear it after, right? Yeah.
It's just painful, and you got to let it rest quickly and ice it up always. It's gonna be forever for him.
So are you worried about Wilkins in this season, or you think he's gonna be able to perform?
They fixed it, and it's hard to re-injure, but. If that happens with him, it might be an ongoing thing, and then that's just a hit that we got to take, bro. We lost him. It was kind of, to me, with Wilkins, is that we weren't stopping a run when he was in there. And I said, well, what the hell? What's going on here? And when he left, we started stopping a run a little bit. Wow, because we played the Chargers. We were at that game, Leo.
Oh, yeah, that Charger game? Yeah, that one was,
J.K. Dobbins and the other Gus, what's his name? They ran for 250 yards against us.
Oh, they ran all over us that fucking game, yeah.
And where was Wilkins was playing?
He was playing.
Adam Butler was playing. Max was playing.
They got gassed that game. You could definitely tell they got gassed out that game.
And so what happened? And in the second game, we kind of, with Henry, the next game,
second game they stepped up.
We did good. We shut down Henry a little bit.
Yeah, they shut down Henry a bit. They checked Lamar. Yeah, It was when he got hurt in that Bronco game, man. Like, oh,
Mhm.
I think that's when I was becoming a big fan of him. Was that Bronco game? He was disrupting that fucking game.
Well,
He was disrupting it.
he's a damn good
Mhm.
defensive lineman, bro. He stops the
Yeah,
run. He can pass rush a little bit. He get there.
yeah,
But the thing about the misconception about what Raider fans think is that they look at a big guy like that, well, no matter what technique he plays, is that he has to have a sack. His main thing is to take up space and
oh yeah. That we
through the line
they
of
all focus
scrimmage.
on how
That's
many
what you gotta do.
how many sacks he has as a D tackle and
Yeah, bro. If you got a D tackle like that, it's either one. You can't stop the run or you're gonna get a sack. One or the other. What do you want to do?
right,
You know,
right.
Because you're gonna get blocked by a running back and a guard or a tackle if you make moves or whatever. But
Mhm.
it's just hard. You know, it's just
Yeah, and I get, and it wasn't this regime; it was Telesco and them who paid him
Mhm.
all that money, all that guaranteed money. So you want to see him out there, fucking doing shit, wrecking havoc. Yeah, but I think he's gonna be all right. I mean, I was becoming a big fan of him, bro, of Wilkins before he got hurt. Yeah,
causing havoc is stopping the run.
yeah. Now, I think that was the whole thing too, was them not being able to stop that run. After
Yeah.
that Charger game pissed me off when we couldn't stop the fucking run.
Oh, bro.
Oh my god, that shit was pissing me off.
My
Yeah.
boy D Mokes, man. Thank you very much, man, for the $5 holler, man. I
What up, man?
But he never wrote back. There you go, man. I love that he said that, bro. That 49er game, he balled out.
Hey, Gravy, I got to get back to work, brother.
All right, bro. Thank you for being
chatting
here,
with
Leo,
you.
man. Good chopping it
Hey,
up with
thank
you.
you for having me on, big dog. I'll see you.
Yeah. I love it, man. Thank you.
We'll
for
have you
being
come
here.
on the connection soon, big dog.
I was thinking about that, bro. I'll argue with them guys all day if you want me to.
Yeah, I'll have you come on the connection. Let me talk to them. All right.
Just let me know, bro. Just let me know. Be good to see Johnny too. I haven't talked to him in a minute since fantasy. Tell
For
Johnny
sure.
what's up. Tell
I
him
will,
what's
brother.
up, bro.
All right,
man.
take it easy.
Take care, bro. Hey, man, that was my boy Leo, man. Thank you for being here, Leo. I got a lot of people in the chat, man. I'm kind of behind. What up, Tubby? What's up, Mike Guerrero, man? Thank you for being here, bro. California Dave, what's up, man? How you doing? We love our players almost as much as we love free agents. Yes, we do. But there's free agents out there that can make our team better, bro. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I just had so much. We had so much money, and we were bragging about it. I just have motivated myself to say, hey, man, we gotta get some dudes, get some linebackers. You know, we gotta get a running back, and maybe the draft we could have got the needs that everybody wanted. You know? But I thought that our defensive line, you know, in the beginning I was saying Mason, let's get this kid. This kid is special. But when I seen him at the combine came, and I was like, hey, bro, he's 100. He went in 285 pounds as a defensive tackle. He might be heavier now. He has to get heavier, but he's light in the ass. We don't need guys like that. We couldn't stop the run as it is. I can't say that. Roche, Raider 24. Damn, is this James from yesterday? James who's Furpro? Furpro's a cool dude. Money Chuck, what's up, man? He just people telling each other what's up. But I had something to do, man. I had something to talk about. This thing with the stance of Aston Jensen that we're talking about here. Talking a lot. I'm hearing a lot of people, and you guys might know that I'm a running back coach by position. And when I see a kid standing straight up like that, and then we've all heard that what Chip Kelly told Aston Jensen, well, the basketball type thing that he was saying. I'm gonna run through the chat. Matt Marinovich, what's up, man? How you doing? Warshack, all right. Warshack Raider, what's up, man? Sorry about that. Thank you for beating that. Yes, he can, Matt. Yes, he can. He's been a DB coach by trade. But getting back on this stance thing, it's important how you stand when you're a running back. You know, his stance when he was at Boise State was that And he was all out balling, and then he could make up for that standing up like that because you know everybody knew he was going to get the football. There wasn't no, but his explosion and the way that he could do things when he was in college, he ain't gonna be able to do that in the pros, and we all know that. So you got to make adjustments, and you go say, hey, you know, Gibbs stands that way now. Gibbs is decorated already as balling out. So I guess his offensive coordinator, I guess Ben Johnson said, well, do what you do. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay. But Gibbs, with that, has the explosion that in the pros that it can happen. And that's why he was picked as a number one pick for them. They had Montgomery. They didn't have to get Gibbs. And it doesn't matter if you stand straight up and you're not really a big guy. Your explosion or just standing right there. There's footwork that you got to do when you're a running back to disguise the linebackers or the defensive front. You got to do things, move your feet around. But if you're standing there, how quickly can you do that? You can't do it that fast. So when you're low a little bit, bend your knees a little bit, and the vision of the linebackers, the defensive linemen, they really can't see you. So, and then your explosion of your footwork, your explosion of your feet, you're on the balls of your feet. How could you be on the balls of your feet when you're standing straight up? You can't explode. It's kind of like a sprinter out the blocks, just like that. You don't see nobody. You might see that in elementary school, a guy running 100 meters standing straight up and then taking off. But I guarantee you, he ain't gonna win that race unless he's super duper fast over everybody. But you see these guys that are track, they use the blocks to explode. They're low. And I understand what Chip Kelly with the basketball narrative was talking about. If you're gonna guard me, how you gonna be? You're gonna get low. You're 6'9", but you got to get low to guard me because you got the reach. You can make adjustments to that. But to move with that player, you got to be low. And so it's the same thing as running back. It's the same thing as a running back to explode. You're on the balls of your feet when you're in that stance. And you can explode your first step and you got to hit. You got to be there quick. Thank you, man. Thank you, bro. How you doing? James Rippo, what's up? Rorschach, what's up? Rorschach. I got to get used to that, bro. But hey, check it out, man. You guys, I'll probably be here for a little bit longer. I got some stuff to do after 12. I got medication to take, and usually that medication makes me take a nap. So I don't want people to leave. If the guys got a subject, you got a question that you want me to ask, and expectations of this team. What are your expectations of this team? I haven't really made. I really didn't. I haven't made any predictions or anything like that. And I don't really want to do that. I might overreact or something. Jack Kidder with the question or something. It goes, at Gravy, you missed out on Lunatic breaking down Charger fan wearing Herbert's jersey 10. Lunatic said 1 Super Bowl appearance and 0 wins. Yep. And I bet you I know what that Charger fan is. He don't come on here no more because my chat, I got at him. See, that's what you got to do. That dude comes on your show, let your chat get at him. I don't even put his stuff up here if he does come on the show. But I'm not popular, so he probably, I ain't worth him being on. But he'll get on Radio Nation Live show. But this is a Radio Nation Live show, so he probably sees it. And we don't block nobody. Nobody that's been on the show was blocked or left comments was blocked. Edgar Sosa, what's up? Edgar Sosa has a question. What is your actual record prediction for us this season? I'll take the over on 6.5, bro. That's what it is. What's up, my bro? Chris for Raiders, man. What's up, bro? How you doing? Pleasure to meet you, bro. Pleasure to have a stogie with you. Chop it up for you. Talk football, man. It was a blessing. It was a blessing. I remember that, bro. I cherish those moments, bro. I cherish those moments. being with you and Jack and Dub Raider and all of us smoking out there was talk football, man. Different views, and we all got along, and it was special. We do that all the time. Now, dog got it going. I think this team is going to surprise everybody. I think we end up with 10 wins. That's a real good prediction, though. And I hope that happens. But I can't sit here and say, yeah, we're going to win 10 games and then be disappointed because I've been disappointed so many times. And it's not that I don't have confidence in my team. But how many times have we done that and overreacted it? But it's different. It's different. It's different. And anything over 4 wins is good. Double 4 wins is good for me. That means we're headed in the right direction. And of the players, are we looking better? I don't know if you guys know this, but I remember we lost 10 games in a row. We didn't win a division game. So right off the bat, and I've been saying this, right off the bat, we got to win at least half of our division games. We got to split. Now, I don't care where it's at. Bueno, what's up? Mr. Husky, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for being here on the Coach Gravy Show. The auto winners upon us with good motivation right there, bro. Good motivation right there. Chris for Raiders, 10 wins would be nice. Chat is going quick. 40 people up in the mix, man. Come on, I only got 3 likes. What's up? You guys don't like what I'm talking about? Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. I really don't say that much because I don't see it, but it looks like they're putting it in there. If you like what you're hearing, sub to Coach Gravy Show, sub to Raider Game 420, and What Up, Low, man. Those are my boys. We got a show, Raider Nation Live. We're all connected to that show, and we get everything about it. If you guys like watching that, I think we're gonna be on tonight. I talked to Low this morning, and I think we're gonna be on tonight. So hit those likes, man. See what's up. What up, Robert Pena? How you doing, bro? Mr. Husky, favorite team. What's your favorite team, Mr. Husky? It's a crazy name. It's like, okay, you got a husky dog on there. Yeah, like your boy up. If you like what you're hearing, man. You like what I'm spitting to you? Stay on, rock it. Everybody telling everybody what's up, man. I dig that. All you guys are family around here. Renee July got family. D Menace, my mom. Great to see your name, D Menace. Hey, man. Homie watching me from India. That's great, man. International. Gravy Way International. What's up? Thank you for being here, man, watching the show. House Junkies, what's going on, bro? But what I was getting on the stance thing is that it's not a big issue, but just the fact I got to reiterate what the proper. And then there's been a lot of people that stand straight up like that. We can say Gibbs does it, but Gibbs is decorated. He got years of dope play. Genty hasn't got that yet. And I credit Genty for being open to changing. And it's not if it ain't broke, don't fix it type thing. It ain't. It's just stand straight up and get the football. And I was telling Lo this because maybe he didn't understand how the game is and what I teach like that. But stand straight up and get the football at the line of scrimmage and see what happens to you. That's all that I gotta say. If you're around football and your kid plays running back or he's a tailback or anything like that, he'll make they'll blow you up, bro. And I think your sternum will be blown up. and you'll probably lose the football. And running back coaches hate that. It does. And when you get low, it does make you smaller, Chris. And you're gonna be that way. You're gonna be that way either way when you get the football. You don't stand straight up. You don't make yourself visible like that when you get the football. When you do the mesh, you don't do that. That's what that's called. Quarterback to running back. When he puts it in your bucket, it's called a mesh. And then there's a formation, a pattern that's called a mesh too, but it's a certain offense. The air raid offense is called mesh when the receivers go. But you guys don't need to get into that stuff. But it's just a standard that running backs do. But if you're good at doing something and you keep doing it, and then the offensive coordinator or the running back coach doesn't really say anything about it, then. But this is the offensive coordinator telling him, "Hey, you need to change it." So to me, that's a big deal. If your running back coach is doing it, he probably told his running back, "Oh, I'm going to do what I'm going to do." But then the offensive coordinator, and Chip Kelly's telling him, then it has to happen. It's going to happen. But they're not going to get rid of him, or they're not going to do things like that. It's just going to be frowned on a little bit. And if he does realize that, hey, you have to do it like this because this is the way the offense, you got to be not visible, even though you're a small guy, it's not going to be that way. But I think maybe Gibbs is not that big of a guy either. Actually, I think that Janty might be a little bit heavier than him. But all in all, he's going to ball out, no matter if I just think he's a rookie. He should go by what? I think that he should be. He should just go by the standard and listen to his coaches, and it'll benefit him. It'll benefit him more. That's a good point too, Gravy. That half step faster, proper stance will protect Genty from getting blown up and hurt. The pros is faster and more savvy. Genty may need to change. Exactly. Well, exactly. Chris Full Raiders, man. What's up, bro? How you doing? Gravy, you think that we can develop Cam Miller or we'll have to drop a quarterback next year? Bro, good question. Good question. House Junkies, what's up, man? He has a question too. What's up to my boy? Pleasure meeting this guy, Cigar Savant. My boy Dub Raider, man. How you doing, bro? Good to see you in here with me, man, supporting my show. It's good to see you, bro. Look forward to getting with you. I talked to Lois. We were talking to Lois that we have a next show to get you on there, man. We got to figure out your schedule, though. Here we go, Loud Dog. Explosion always isn't the best. Sometimes you got to read the block. Loud Dog, explosion is a factor, bro. You got to get there. You can't be impatient if you run what Chip Kelly does. Look at what he did. Fast, explosion, getting through the line of scrimmage quick. And then, always like the difference between a zone read and an RPO is different. And Chip Kelly runs both of them. So as soon as that, you can't be standing straight up when that hole opens up. That's explosion. You're slower when you're standing straight up. And then being patient is, like Bell, like Ron Bell type stuff, where his offensive line wasn't moving. His offensive line was a strong pushback type mode. And then the hole, whatever, he would get there. He was just patient, waiting for his offensive line to open up. And football ain't that way no more. It's not. Everything is fast. Defensive tackles are fast. A safety will get her. Safety will get there. One of these little big guys that we have at corner now. We're changing the way football's approaching corners. I think we got the biggest corners or the biggest secondary. JB is our smallest guy. This guy we got Porter is a big kid. He's huge. We seen Chin in Bakersfield. He's big. That dude was the year before. The year before that, what Diablo was there, and I still right next to Diablo. Chin is bigger than Diablo. In my originally, and this guy's a safety. Diablo was a safety, getting bigger to be a linebacker. So he got bigger, and Chin was bigger than him already. That's a massive dude, man. That's a massive guy right there. And our corners are that way. Our safeties are that way. So they ain't gonna hit. These corners are gonna go up and hit you. So I dig that. We ain't gonna slouch on defense. Jack Kenner's a taller dude. I was tripping out that he was tall. I'm not that short, but Jack's taller than me. I agree with you. It will be harder for them to see him. He's a crack daylight, he gone. Yeah, exposure is very important. If you're sitting there bouncing around, if you're a little dude, that might work out. But nowadays, as much as zone is being used, you got to get there. You got to get there fast. Why take the time to wait when you can? Why take the time being patient when the hole will be there? Just got to wait. It's going to open up. That's why they're having these. That's why they have zone now. That's why our offensive linemen are moving. It's going to happen quickly. So get there. That's why, I've always said I'm an older guy, but I ain't old school football. I've adapted. And then that's why we got to be adapted to what we're doing now. This is not the old, Charlie Garner, Tyrone Wheatley, bang, double. We need a bell cow guy that can do everything. We got a guy like Mostert that can hit the perimeter and get there. Ain't nobody gonna catch that dude. He's one of the fastest men in football right now at his age. He has to stay healthy though, like my boy Dub said. We got to stay healthy, and that's very important. But sometimes we get that bug where things don't work out that way, and I just hope it doesn't happen again, because if it does, then we're going to have another season like next year. We got to take the factor of that. We can't say, hey, man, that, Genty's a little guy. He's going to get there. Man, he was getting hit. The dude was getting the ball 30-something times. I don't think there was a game that he got less than 20, because they be blowing out teams, and he was their whole offense. As much as he got used, who are we to say he gets banged up? How long is he going to last in the NFL getting hit like that, dog? That doesn't look like he had a problem in college. But it's different. But I have no question that he can hang in the college. No Dog said that I was a running back all the way through high school and had no coach, whatever, let me stand straight up. And yeah, it's just not. You just look at the inertia of it and the explosion. Like, the only best way I can let you guys know is look at track guys. When they explode, and that's the closest thing besides being in the blocks in football, is to get low like that. And if you're a smaller guy, it just makes you smaller to where they can't see you. And that means a lot, because they can't focus. Bigger running backs is not real good in NFL football. There is guys like that. And Eric Dickerson ran, Roger Craig did this and that. That was back then. But you see, it was different. Offensive linemen were different. They were power blocking. Zone blocking wasn't in there. Now you got fast guards moving. These guys are athletes. These big 300-pound guys are athletes. They get there. Let that hole open up. Boom, you're gone. Let's go. Find it. That's the whole in the now NFL. And we have to adapt to that. Josh Jacobs wasn't a real fast guy, but he got there. He was a good zone guy. And the offensive line helps them out, get that confidence, we'll be unstoppable. Law Dog, this is that was going to be buying a Janty jersey. He's going to prove that. Exactly, bro. I'm glad you feel that way, Law Dog. You're with me on it. But the thing is, Chris, is that Janty's not. Janty does more than Lynch, though. I don't expect Lynch to be over there going heads up with everybody. You know, that's not the running back type guy. Marshawn Lynch wanted contact. You know what I mean? And what I was explaining, I don't know if it was you or somebody would ask me, what do you think about this? It's just, hey man, when you're in a situation, the thing that Genty does the best, if you guys will bear with me to explain it, is that the Genty is real good in space. What defenses are doing nowadays is that they're eliminating the space that you have to for the opportunity to open holes, to open the gap, the green grass that you're going to get. Defenses are making that really, really small. And so for the defense, the angles that you take in that space is what they're concerned about. But we have to adjust to those angles, and you got to be good at that little space that they give you to maneuver. And it's not like a wide open space where you could run high and do all this. You got to be and wiggle out of those spaces. It's more wiggle than mover than cutting. It's more wiggle. How much wiggle you got? That said a lot in football now. Is a wiggle. They got wiggle drills that you sit there and the space is smaller. You ain't got these bags 5 feet apart or like a gap apart. These bags are like maybe a foot, and you got to maneuver in those little spaces. That's how they're coaching now. So if you got a little boy or whatever, get him good at little spaces and they'll move around. If he's a running back, teach that to him. If he gets it, then he'll be in the now of football. Because it evolves. Football always evolves. What up, Jeff, man? How you feeling, bro? Thinking of you all the time on how you're feeling and doing. Watch your show yesterday, man. Great show. Hope your future endeavors are great, bro. Chris for Redders, I think Genty has a quicker burst that people see and is good cutback. He has a cutback, yes he does. But that's what I mean. You said it in a different way that his cutback, but his footwork, you look at his feet, they don't even it doesn't look like they come off the ground. He's not high stepping. That's why he's so good at maneuvering in small spaces, because the defense is making that space small and he can maneuver out of it or cut. Turnaround speed, he's a diversion, and then he knows what to do with that, and that's that's bag work. That could be natural, God-given ability that he has with that. His running style is just amazing. I don't know how people don't look at that. They just look at the dude, and he played at Boise, and they're not good competition, and they played against nobody. Penn State shut them down. He got 100 yards against one of the best defenses in the nation. And he didn't get the ball a lot because they were down. Like, if you're down that much to Penn State, the only guy you have is Austin Genty is your running game. They pretty much shut you down. What are you going to do? Throw the ball against them? That's what they had to do. You make that guy a non-factor. Anybody knows that. Fuck the Patriots, Mike. I'm with you on that. I know you're going to hit that Denver game. Tell me what game everybody going to. I know Mike's going to hit that Denver game when the Raiders go over there. Mike and my boy Pyro, they always hitting that game. You guys tell me what game you guys are looking at, because I was looking at some packages. I'm looking at some packages. Some packages for Allegiant Airlines. And my boy Twan told me about this. Allegiant Airlines has some pretty good deals out there that you could get tickets and a room stay. You guys look at that. You guys are gonna hit that up. They got you take 4 people with you. It's like a tickets, the room stay at the Mandalay Bay, which is right across the street from the damn stadium, for like $1,000. And those tickets, you look at the tickets for the home opener and to the tickets to the home opener with San Diego, I mean Chargers, and the Dallas game, the 2 Monday night games, hundreds of dollars, like 500. It's crazy. The San Diego game or the Charger game is way, way, way cheaper. You'll see the difference if we look at it. But the packages that Allegiant Airlines has, if you got Allegiant Airlines going from where your city is to Las Vegas, it's a 45-minute flight for me. You know, but airfare is usually not included with that. It should be, but they have different ones. They have hotel and ticket packages, and they have flight and hotel packages. I haven't seen one that's flight, hotel, and tickets. So I want to look into that. But it looks like some pretty good deals, though. Don't overdo yourself. The thing my wifey's doing is she's overthinking. Well, we could get this and that. I say, hey, if you want to drive over there, it's going to be cheaper than a plane flight. Because you're going to pay $200 for a plane flight for 2 people. Well, there's like 6 people going with it. My kids want to go too. So if it's like 6 people and you got, and if you just drive over there, you save your money either way. For a 45-minute flight, you pay $200. That's bullshit to me. That's bullshit to me. That's a great week 1 game. Great storylines. Chip and versus McDummy. Genty, Mostert, Stevenson, Henderson. Yeah. That's gonna be great. I think Stevenson's going to be in a lot of trouble because I liked Henderson. I did. I thought he'd be a good Raider, but we got the best. There was none of them guys were like Genty. And then, he might, there's a lot of expectations for him. And I hope that we don't over expectate for him, if I said it right. Hey, Chris, it's a 3-hour drive for you. It's like 5 for us. Because it's 2 hours to get to you, probably, or 2.5 to get to you. And then once you hit that 15, you all the way down. I've been there before. I think the statute of limitations is done with in Vegas for me. I'm 12 hours away from taking a Greyhound. And then if you guys look at Raider Crusaders, if you get on that link, log dog. Get on that link, and if you can get to Bakersfield, you got to buy a ticket. You have to buy a ticket, and you can get there, a trip up there and back. I think it's a bus ride. You get the tailgate with them, Raider Crusaders, and a hotel stay. I don't know where the hotel's at, and food and beverage and food the way up there and back and all that shit, and for $450. But you got to buy your tickets. That's it. But I think they take $100 now, and you can pay the rest off later till the game starts. That's for the Raider Cowboy game. Check that out, man. Raider Crusaders. Look that up. The information is there. You can look that up on IG. Just look up Raider Crusaders, and you can do it. My boy Cash Lord said most of our probably gonna get 10 stats a game. Goal line as a goal line guy. Do that little quick play action, boom, hit him a little toss on the end. I see that every time, Cash Lord. That's my play, bro. That's my wide banana play right there. Most starting the flat, wide open, with somebody pulling right there to get the DB. Ain't no DB gonna want that. I see it. Chip Kelly's known for that. Yeah, Raider Crusaders, man, check it out. It's worth the price. I don't know where they're staying at, bro, but it doesn't matter if it's good like that. The information's right there. Yeah, you 3 hours from Vegas. That's cool, man. I'm fine, but hey, we might just rent a car and take the whole squad up there and then come back when we want to. And just there's some where there's a 2 day minimum stay. You might as well kick it. I'm not into my wife will work, but I'll be back. I'll be back to. I don't know. That might be Thanksgiving break for me because I work at a school. But it might be different. It might be like close to Thanksgiving break. But I'll take the day off. But I think I might. I don't know if I'm. Everybody knows that I'm recovering still, so I think I might take a year off or 2 year hiatus, or if coaching is out for me. I don't know. I just got to be right. I got to be healthy and right to be coaching because it'll be not good for the kids if I'm not out there full blast. That's the way I like to be. I did it when I was sick and it panned out for the team. It was benefit for the team, but for me, I was hurting. And I know I'll be hurting and so I just hope that everybody can get down there. I got my boy. I drive 10 hours a day. Vegas drive ain't shit. Well, Chad, let's go, Cash. Let's go hit it up. My boy Dub Raider, I'm going to try an Airbnb this season with my Booster Club. Let's go, bro. Tell me where you're at, Dub. Give us some information where you're tailgating at, and I'll be there, man. But I'm gonna have some Dallas fans. I'm gonna have some Dallas fans with me. My wifey's a Dallas fan. I got 2 kids that are gonna go. They say they are. My daughters are Raider fans. My girls are Raider fans. They want to go. Hell yeah, I see how compassionate you are about that. You're a hell of a coach too, bro. Thank you, Law Dog. I am, bro. I've been coaching 28 years. I only got like 4 losing teams that I've been on. 4 losing teams. And it wasn't because of me. It was just the administration. Bad didn't connect. And usually the coach got fired, so I had to go too. That's the way it is. Christopher Raider, Gravy, your health is more important, brother. We need you around. Thank you, man. Much appreciated, Chris. You too, brother. We gotta take care of ourselves at our age. we got to hit some cigar lounges while you're out there. Yes, sir. We talked about that dub man, cigar savant man. So yeah, we were talking about the sticks out there. Somebody stole my stick. I don't know who it was, bro. That was a good stick. My CAO was took from me, but I had another one. It was good. Just chopping it up with the chat, man. I love this, man. That's great. Damn, 28 years. Yeah, I started when I was right out of, I was in college. I went to Fresno City College. It was a community college, but I ripped my knee up in football, Jack, and I got into coaching. Then I went another way in my life, and I tried to mix the two together. And I did a good job. I did a good job at that. I'll tell you that. I was a different person as far. Coaching football got me out of a lot of shit. And it did. Coaching football got me out of a lot of stuff. That's why I respect it so much, and I'm passionate so much about it because it got me out of a lot. So that's how I respect it. And I don't like people that disrespect the game. I love flatheads, bro. That's my choice. But sometimes, when you just want to get a little quick stogie and kick it at a lounge, if I was kicking it at a lounge with you, I'll get a flathead, bro. I love flatheads. If people don't know what a flathead is, it's a cigar that just flat on 4 sides, and they press it. It's really condensed type cigar. They're really good. You taste the flavor of it. You taste the leaf. And that's all cigar smoking is about, is the leaf, how you taste it. You know, it's not just to smoke it. If you can't taste the leaf, then you don't got a good cigar. So he knows about that. Mike says he likes head period. There it is, bro. Good job, Mike. Here we go, Jack Ken, a dub when you're on your shows. That was a pleasure meeting you on Saturday. It was great, man. That was a great event. Gonna go to it next year. Definitely could see you with heaters and dope mans on the back of the day for sure. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. The football got me out of a lot of stuff, bro. I wasn't really a school guy. I was there for football, tore up my knee, and then the opportunity to coach was there, and I coached at the same community college I went to in the long run. So once you start having kids, man, and you grow, you had to grow up and think about your relationship. Yeah, hey, you got to change, and that's what I did. And I don't like no drama. I don't like no negativity. You know, sometimes I bring it, but it's not intentional. Not a lot of radio stuff, so just chopping it up in the chat, man. Let me know what's going on. If I'm going to be here for about another 15, 20 minutes, see what's going on. Just wanted to holler at the people out there. And then if we're gonna do this, you know, I enjoy being with you guys and talking with you and seeing the people that are out there that appreciate what I'm doing. And there's not a lot of subjects out there. It's hard to talk about things. You know, I was looking at current events for the Raiders, and we're talking about this Jay Arnett guy. Who gives a shit if he's come back to the NFL? He fucked up as a Raider, and I don't care about him. I don't care if he comes back to the NFL. I hope he plays against us and we burn his ass. Let Best go there and burn this food. He's doing good in the UFL, but the quality of the players out there, they look balling with that sorry ass quality. It ain't the NFL. They're making money. I appreciate it, but it ain't the NFL. Totally different league. See, we got to appreciate when we say, we got to understand when we say people suck or they're trash and we throw those names out. To an extent, you are true. I feel the same way about people, but you know, it's just that they rub off on me the wrong way, you know. And just like the DC subject with me, you know, until 2016, I was rolling with the guy. But how many people really thought that Derek Carr was benefiting us when we were, you know, after 2017? Just think. We played against, what's up, Cool Kev? How you doing, bro? Good to be here, man. Thank you for being here with me, bro. You to come through. I know that. I just hope that we don't miscalculate what this guy did for us, and it wasn't nothing. And my boy, I know that agrees with me. My boy Crash. Oh no, I'll put that back up, but I'm gonna put my boy Cash Lord. He's the DC. He's the one that started all this shit. DC retired, having 20 coaches fired with 0 playoff wins, led to the Raiders in fumbles history. What an accomplishment! Yeah. I said that. 90 fumbles. 90 fumbles in 9 years. I don't know how much you have for Saints. But he was a savior for the Saints, and what happened there? Jack Kenner has a question or something to say. Gravy, we talked about this a bit also with Lunatic, 805, Christopher Redder. 3 spots that need improvement. You did answer that. Not in this order. Cornerback, all-ball, linebacker, and free safety. Tell the nation, bro. We did talk about that. I mentioned the size of our corners now. And you know, I don't know if Graham is gonna change the defense. Like I said, bro, we played nickel almost every down, and I would like to see, you know, a 3 linebacker, three linebackers in there, Willie, a Sam, and a Mike. I would like to see that, bro. You know, why can't we have four? We're getting bigger in the secondary. Why can't we have four guys out there? Why do we need to play nickel? And, you know, what that does is that it will eliminate the slot guy, but we can say who's going to replace the slot, but we ain't got nobody that's Hobbs. We ain't got nobody that was Hobbs. Now, we got to think. All of us have our own opinions about Hobbs, but Hobbs, we lost a good one. Now, I've been saying that. We lost a good one when we lost Hobbs. And I said that, even in Bakersfield. And I think the bigger corners that we're getting, you know, these guys are 6'2", 6'3". Safeties are 6'3", 6'4", 220. Big guys. And we got this Porter kid. He's a huge guy. Chin is a huge man. You know, as far as DBs are concerned, he's a big kid. Man. These guys are big. And stopping a run is a priority for Pete Carroll. I go, you have to do that to win football games, because I can't grind it in people's head enough, is that running the football is the epitome of football. You know, if you can't run the football, you lose games, and you might get by with the elite quarterback. You can get by the NFL with the elite quarterback. If that happens, you know, a point of view is Mahomes. You know, Josh Allen, what does he do? You don't see Mahomes running around all over the place. He runs all over the place vertically. I mean, laterally, but he ain't getting you. He might run around and get you a first down, but look at what Josh Allen does, and then he needs to watch out, because he ain't gonna do that very much if he gets hit too much. Limited, if he keeps doing that, limited years are getting taken off his career by doing shit like that. Every time he's running the football like that, his coaches say, "Gee, I hope nothing happens." And that could be his season. That could be your season. Josh Allen gone, your season's gone. Mahomes does shit like that, your season's gone. But being a little bit mobile to get out the way. And look at oh my God. You want a quarterback coach like that teaching that bullshit to people? Nah, get out of my way. You know, I can see Fresno State doing some stupid shit like that, messing my college team up. I can. Loud dog. Wish we would have got Scatterbo with Genty instead of those linemen that we won't play. Ooh. The offensive lineman. I got different plans for that, bro. You know, look, bro. Scatterbo is not, you know, he's somebody that I was impressed with, but he's not gonna. I don't want to talk about the guy. He hasn't played yet, but he's not a real fast guy. Speed is so important in the NFL, and you know I'd rather have Mostert. I'd rather have Mostert there. And then you got a Zamir Wright that's just like Scatterbo. Kind of. Maybe he can be. If Scatterbo balls out in the NFL, I must have best luck to him. But there's a reason why in the combine he didn't run. You know, and I don't know what he ran, but I know that he worked on it, and he ain't that top guy to break loose. Because now with Scatterbo and Genty, and I'm going to put my own guy in the mix, that these college things that these guys accomplish in college, it doesn't matter anymore. And them coaches are telling them that. These coaches are saying, what you did in college ain't shit. This ain't Arizona State no more. This ain't Boise State. And that's exactly what we seen from Chip Kelly, probably telling Aston Genty, you stood straight up at Boise State, but you ain't doing that shit. That shit don't work around here unless you ball out. So if Gibbs could do shit like that, but Gibbs balls out. But if he gets a chance to do it, if you could do that, Genty, then go ahead. You can stand straight up all you want, as long as you can get there fast enough. Then you can when you're low. Gravy, you trust Graham with his new grip? With his new grip, like with the defense? I wasn't. If that's what you mean, Cool Kev. I wasn't with bringing Patrick Graham back. I wasn't with that. But trusting him, no. Because, we couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop the run at all. Our red zone defense was terrible. Our third down efficiency was terrible. Our, we didn't get a lot of turnovers. We didn't. I thought that, the thing about Patrick Graham is Patrick Graham is a head coach material type guy. All around, he's a head coach type guy. But the opportunities that he had for being a head coach, I think he was a Rooney Rule guy. And I don't want to put no disrespect on him. He deserves to be a head coach in the NFL with what he's done. But I think, and it's sad to say that he's a Rooney Rule guy. And coaches are like that. It hurts me to say that, but I think that's what he is now. And in my future and Evers with, future for Patrick Graham is that I think Patrick Graham is liked so much by this organization because it wasn't performance of his defense that kept him around. I think the structure that was around Patrick Graham is that he didn't want to deal with anymore because it was bad. It was bad. And he wanted to go somewhere else, but then when we got a defensive coach, some structure, cultural builder, motivation builder, a guy that's done something to be his boss and to give him opportunities to be free and do what he wants to do, then I think Patrick Graham is going to be groomed by this administration to be the next head coach of the Raiders. Because it's been said before, and that's the way I think that's the way I feel. So why keep him around? Our defense wasn't good last year. We weren't good at a lot of things last year. We were bottom of a lot of stuff. I don't think that tush push is even. Geno Smith is not the size of Jalen Hurts, bro. And they're the only team that does that right. You can't be 6-something and do that tush push. And we ain't going to do that. I don't like that play. You can't stop it, but that's all you got to do. Stop it. I don't know if it's going to be in football, but I think somebody's going to get hurt. The guy hiking the ball, a guy playing defense. And somebody's going to break their damn neck or something. It's going to take a big injury for that play not to be. If we're going to bring rugby and football, then take the pads off, man. It's a rugby play. But it's legit. Mike G said we're going 12-5. Wow. And I don't want to see a defensive tackle playing fullback, bro. I don't see Chip Kelly ever run a fullback, so that's just the old school in you, Jack Kennedy. I told you that. Fullbacks are done with. We're using tight ends now, better athletes. That's what I want to see. I don't want to do this John Gruden bring back a fullback shit. That's old. What did it do when he was here? No, what's up? So Cal Sal, what's going on, man? How you doing? Telling everybody what's up. Michael Rell was a beast in the chat. Jack Kenner, he says he loves Patrick Graham. And he's not, he's hard not to like. And Jack Kidder, I know I'm not a real big. I see stats, but I don't push them on people. But I know, and you should know that we weren't good at a lot of things, bro, and very important things. You know, third down stoppage is very important in as far as winning football games. So how many times were we third and 20, third and 15, third and 14, and situations to where we could get the ball back and have our offense do something. No matter if our offense did go 3 and out in those situations, it works both ways. The defense has to stop the opponent on third down. It works both ways. So they're only on there for 3 plays and they can't stop people. It's their fault that they are on the field too long. And the same thing goes with the offense that when they go 3 and out. It's the same thing. But we tend to, the offense is going 3 and out, but when the defense is out there not stopping the offense or not getting to the quarterback or not being in coverage or letting the field, middle of the field be wide open on third and longs, that they have to do it too. And just think about that, because I think it's not talked about or realistically, put out there that the defense needs to stop the offense. Our defense needs to stop the offense on third downs, no matter what it is. 30 and 1, I don't give a shit. 30 inches, they need to stop them. I expect you to stop them, and then that's why. And we weren't good at that. We weren't good at that at all. If you look at, I'm sure Travis Kelce played the Raiders twice, got 100 yards. I don't even think he did that the whole season with any other team. So how does that happen? How many years have we been sitting there in the middle of the field, wide open on third down, and they get it? Are we tired of that? And that, for as many years it's been going on, got to be scheme or tackling or something. It has to be that. But it's beyond it. Who's coaching? What are we doing to prevent that? Are we getting bigger guys? We want to stop the run? Then fine. That'll solve that. But Pat Graham is Pat Graham, and he's been doing the same thing for the amount of years that he's been here. Plays nickel, plays zone. And we could say that he's going to do this and that. He's going to play man press. Who is he getting? Who is he getting to do press man? These guys are aggressive guys off the ball. I think our running game will help the defense. It does, bro. If you run the football, it takes the air out of the football, and the time keeps clicking. You can take your time, but Chip Kelly kind of got out of the tempo game. He still does plays fast, and I love that. But you have to, be able to run the football to have a balance of the field. We didn't have that. We had Aiden O'Connell throwing the ball 40 times, and then with only 30 yards rushing with 4 guys. That's impossible to win football games. It's impossible to win football games. Tell me when that's ever happened, unless turnovers were involved on the other team. Turnovers are just as bad as 3 and outs. Way worse. Way worse. Turnovers, I hate turnovers. And you can tell that I coach because I hate them so much. I'm done with this dude, Luby. He's fumbled the ball too much times. They just need to get off the field too. Yes, they do, bro. And you might argue with me. Chip was a good guy, but the thing that Chip didn't like was recruiting. Because I've been at seminars with the dude. He's not real. He's approachable, but he's just one quick boom. That's it. He's done with you. His attention span with you personally, and I'm sure he is with his coaches. He's concerned about that and the information he gives to them. But with meetings with coaches, he don't take a lot of shit. If you don't do it right, then he won't keep you around. That's the sense that I got from him. And I've been in a seminar with him, and I wasn't physically. He was there talking to us about his tempo offense, but it was just him educating us, and he knows football. He knows football very, very well. He is. That's why he's there, Chris. That's why he's there, bro. He's there as an offensive guy. And so the thing with Genty had changed it wasn't his running back coach doing this. It's his offensive coordinator. And that level of the totem pole, when you got the main dude, the only guy above him to tell Genty to stop this, Pete Carroll must have been concerned about it because his offensive coordinator is telling Genty, this is not what I want. Otherwise, Pete Carroll would have said, let him do what he wants to do. Tell me this. I bet you AP would have let him stand up straight like that if we got Genty. But we still had AP. AP was unaware of that this is what matters. He'll let him do what he wants. If it ain't broke, fix it. We'll fix it. But Chip Kelly said, I don't care if it's not broke, don't fix it. Not your running back coach is telling you this. Chip Kelly is. The totem pole, bro. Look at that. Look at the way it works. You got to respect that. And then that means that Pete Carroll had a problem with it. If Chip Kelly is telling him that. He agrees with me for the first time. There you go. Thank you, brother. Finally, I got you to agree with me. Chip Kelly was the best Philly besides now. Besides now, you know, Chip Kelly had a massive, great offense in Philly. I watched that. I watched that when he was in Oregon. Oregon was his best years with the tempo. He brought that to Philly, and people couldn't hang with it. He's kind of out the tempo a little bit more, but he's more into designing and creativity. It's going to be way different, man, than what we see. I love Norv Turner. I love his philosophy of running the football and stuff, but this guy has Norv Turner in it, but way more creative, way more motion, way more moving around, zone blocking. You know, it's gonna mesh really good, and I hope it does. I hope it does, but I don't want to wait around to see it. I don't want to wait around till game 3, 4, 5 to, you know, don't get on a show with me and say it takes 2-3 games to get the offense together when they're in OTAs right now working on that shit. They should get it right now. They got a playbook all year. Chip Kelly is installing his offense right now for these guys to do. So they got to get it. They got to know what's up. It don't take games to understand the offense. The rapport with the quarterback, and game situations, I understand that. But you got to be ready to go game 1 because that game 1 counts. That was our problem. You know, we always wait till game 2, wait till game 3. The offensive line needs to get it together. With me, get it together game 1 so we can look dope game 1. When are we done? We go 3-0 with Gruden, and the whole ship fell out because of the situation he was in, you know. But, you know, I don't want to be going 0-3 and then the offense is just getting ready. Fuck all that, man. How many times have we said that? I want to win. I want to win right now. We got a coach that's not going to be there forever. He wants to be there now. He wants to win now. And I think that's what they're doing. They're getting the guys they got. I hope. I just don't want to be disappointed in this year taking a fill-out stage because they're not saying what I hope they wouldn't say. And I've been saying this, guys. I've been saying, look, if we're gonna, you know, I don't want to after all these, you know, rookie mini camps and all these guys are there. I don't want to be hearing in press conferences where they figured out the young guys on their team or the non-vets or the non-special players that we have and saying, oh, we're a young team. We're gonna see how it goes. Right there off the bat, we're retooling. We're doing. Then we ain't gonna win football games unless we surprise some people. That's the sense I'm gonna get, and we should get that too. But we don't do it with excuses. We say, well, what can we do to fix this shit? You know, how many times have we been saying, what are we gonna do to fix this shit for 15, 12 years, or longest 20 years. And I think we're headed in that direction. And Cool Kev said it right. We'll give this better word. Yeah, he's a better coach. He's a better offensive coordinator. He's a better play caller. And he's dedicated to do the dedication of and the focus of Chip Kelly it'll be contagious with his coaching staff, with his offensive coaching staff. I can guarantee you that. We are going to look different and we're going to play different with this dude in there. Because I seen his work. And if I know offenses, and it was weird, it was hard to understand because you had to get that type football. It's new. And stuff is new in the NFL. It's coming, but his creativity and all this is amazing to me. But we don't see that. We look at plays, but we don't look at what these guys are doing. And that's what I just watch games. Get the packages, watch players play. And man, it's amazing what this guy does. Guess you learned how to coach playing Tecmo Bowl. Yeah, probably, bro. House Junkies, that's a good. His offense, he's a running guy type guy, but we didn't have nobody, bro. And he gets a bad rap. He probably wasn't a good coach, for us, but he wasn't the first pick. I know that. I know he wasn't our first choice, and we let our first choice out go. I wouldn't have gave a shit if he's there longer than the head coach. I didn't expect AP to stay there that long. If you're in a situation where your coach has to get into the groove and learn how to coach, be a head coach while you're playing games, you put yourself in a situation where you're going to lose games. Jeff, what's up, man? How you doing? Here we go, man. Here we go, Chris. Here we go. Christopher Raiders, it's been a while since we hadn't experienced the adults in the room with no controversy. Hey, it's going that way. There ain't no problems except for these contracts that we got to take care of. But I'm telling you, man, these young guys are here to replace these dudes. And I don't expect long-term contracts with Miller or Jacoby Myers. As much as we love these guys, they're going to be, pushed out the way a little bit. I'm thinking. That's my opinion. I don't want to get rid of them. I don't want to say that they're not doing anything for us, but the offense should be much improved. Crazy on the house by taking care of focused on. They did focus on. And I think we have a great coaching staff. I think I expect these coaches to make real-time adjustments on both sides of the ball. You have to, bro. If you give content creators as a halftime adjustments, that doesn't happen. I can tell you right now that doesn't happen. So it's gonna be the type situation to where you need to do in-game adjustments. That's not the way it is. Where you go, you're not playing so well, so you're going to wait until halftime and then make the adjustment. You do it now. You got to be prepared to do it now. And that's coaching staff. That's coaching how you work with your coaches. What do we need to do this? And it's in categories. Your defensive line coach has a headset on saying, why ain't this guy doing? You guys would be amazed what goes on in those headphones that those guys have on. That shit's not even for YouTube. I'll tell you that. That stuff's not even for YouTube. You would question, do these guys really get along? But they do. It's just football. It ain't personal. What are you doing? Why is this guy doing it? And it's their responsibility to have these guys ready. Because Chip Kelly has to get a game plan together. Right now, he's looking at what he has, the talent. Can he adjust to these people and this and that? But when we say we got to adjust to what Genty does. No, Genty has to adjust to what Chip Kelly does. That's what the problem is, what people's thinking of football is now. We said, well, you got to adjust your game plan to what these people do. But if the player doesn't adjust to what your scheme is, you can't change your whole scheme just for one player. You could just change the route. You can change this and that, but your offense will be surrounded for what everybody you had. That player is not just special. Every player is special. On that, you want them to do something. You know, when you say he's a decoy, he has a route, but he might not be involved in that play. But the next one, he might. So sell out and do it. Sell out every play, then you'll prosper in football. There we go. House Junkies. Raiders' word of the season is to make adjustments on both ends of the ball. Yes. And we didn't do that. We couldn't do that because we were already at a disadvantage, House Junkies, of not being able to run the football. And then once you're just already a lost cause, man. You know, it's already a lost cause. We weren't running the football, and then we weren't putting everybody in the box. Some of them were playing 3-4, and the three defensive linemen were stopping our run. That's embarrassing. Check it out. Look at it. Me, Gabe, and Lowe, always at halftime, we got together and talked about it. And we would say, man, they got three defensive linemen over there. And they were covering Bowers. A linebacker was covering Bowers, so there's three linebackers. They would fill the holes, but those defensive linemen were tackling our running backs before they got to the line of scrimmage. That's bad. And it has something to do with the offensive line. It has something to do with scheme. But we can't solely just put it on our offensive coordinators, is because AP, in my view, and I know that this happens where you want to do something, you get stingy with it and you say, I want to run the football. We got to establish that because they know they have to. It's so important to have a running game that if you don't, it's impossible to win football games. It's impossible. Unless you got elite quarterback play. I can't say that, man. I love coaching so much. I miss it. Health got me not doing it, and I don't know if I'll do it again, if I have opportunity. But I like the older people. I like the older high school. You know, I basically a high school guy. I love. They're more in the new. They're more into the new football, and I like that. I'm still old school though. I got them old school traits. I'll still bust a wing T on your ass if you let me. But the wing T offense, if we really look at it, it's still in the NFL. It's in the NFL. You see glimpses of it almost every week. Every week they got it. We think all this, the bubble screens and motion across the offensive line. That's wing T shit. It works both ways. But I got 30 people up in here, man. Hit that like button for Coach Gravy, man, and Raider Nation Live, bro. You got to like this game. I was talking to the chat. You guys were wonderful at responding to what I was saying, and you guys were great to be with you today. I just might do it tomorrow if I don't have anything to do. If I have appointments on Wednesday, I don't think so. Yeah, see Gravy at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Probably. It's tough to run the ball. You got to help Andre Jones' blocking assignments. You get me on a whole new subject there, Coop Kev. You're correct. You are correct. North Turner isn't a zone guy. When he got in the mix, Andre James wasn't a zone guy. He played good at the zone, but centers are more involved in zone blocking now. They pull. Man, you just got to get out the way, bro. You're in the way, getting pushed back by guys. And they just line up a guy right in front of you and you couldn't hang. So you lighten the ass. And then that's not good. You need to get big, good. You got good footwork that'll beat your lighting the ass, but his footwork wasn't that good. Coach Gavey is teaching the youngsters how football should be played in respect of the game. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm always going to bring back that old school, and you always got to have that in you. Football players were way better mentally back in the days than they are now. And to have that love for the game, there's players like that. There's players like that. but the love of the game and the want to of the game is way different now. I froze up a little bit, but I'll be back. If we're gonna teach these youngsters now to properly play football, it starts here first. I'm sure the first questions that these general managers ask these people, how much you love football? And it's easy to say, oh, I love it. But when you go out in that field, they could tell if you love it or not. You work hard. That's why I give love to, Pal Mao and those guys. I don't talk shit about guys like that because they busted ass to do it. That's what I want these players to do. I want to see more busting ass and less talking on YouTube shows. But I know that's in the now. You know what I mean? That's in the now. Being on a show, talking to other people. Like I wasn't sitting there talking to my opposition or giving them my jersey or doing that shit, giving them hugs after a game. Nah, get the fuck out of here. That's the way I was, and that's the way I expect. I expect that. I take my team. I shake their hand. That's it. But hugging and swapping jerseys and kissing and all that. I get back on the bus. Let's go. It's worried about next week. That's the way the Raiders need to go back to. That old school mentality is always in me, Chris. It always is. But the involvement of the schemes and the way things are going, it ain't that way no more. It ain't drop a bomb and Tim Brown's gonna go right up under it and things like that. It ain't like that. Everything is condensed. Everything is, where's the green grass at? Because these guys are fast, big, stronger. Most importantly, they're faster. And that's what the adjustment is. Genty's gonna have to adjust to, and don't get me twisted that he has to learn the game, but he has to learn the game on the quick. How fast can he learn that NFL vibe? How fast can he do that? And then if he gets that quick, like these other guys, like Bijan Robinson does, like Gibbs does, and Chase does for the Bengals, and all these other dudes, if he gets it that speed of the game and how fast these guys are to defend him, then he'll be successful. But if he don't get that and just go through the motions, and if he's too slow or whatever, it's gonna affect him because they'll get at you. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Chip Kelly to just make exceptions for a running back when he has an offensive line and wide receivers and a quarterback to deal with. It is impossible. I'm going to change my offense because my running back is slow. No, go get a fast one. Go get a faster one. That's the way the NFL is. If you can't cut it, you're gone. You fumble the football, you're gone. I ain't going to give you another chance because the risk can happen again. It sounds like bullshit, but it happens, especially when you're getting paid for it. In college, that's what's happening. But in college, you could just say, oh, I fumbled the ball a couple of times, I'm going to transfer. And I think that this year of the kids that are going, because I think the NIL affected the NFL. It's going to affect the NFL for ongoing until they make adjustments to that. Kids getting paid. You got kids going to college, 3 colleges in 6 months, 7 months. It's crazy. Is Luby your favorite player, Gravy, going to make the 53 squad this season? I'm not going to depend on a 7th round pick. I'm pretty sure he's a good player, bro. He pops, but he had the chance, bro, and he did something that I really, really don't like. He fumbles the football. And I don't care who hit him. Doesn't matter who hits you or who. You got 2 carries, bro, and you fumbled them. And, hey, okay, you had a good run back, but that's 3 plays. If that's as a 7th round pick, a 6th round pick, that's what you're expected to do. I mean, you need to develop, and with just the expectations of these guys is just crazy as far as the Raider Nation is concerned. I didn't expect nothing from Dylan Lovey. I didn't, but the Raider Nation fell in love with this guy and started saying that he's a CMC too. No, he's not. He's not even CMC hurt. CMC could go out there hurt with a bad hammy and a bad whatever he had and probably not fumble the football as much as Luby did. They probably get more yards. You know what I mean? Fumbleitis, yeah. House Junkies, you're right. Gravy says Louis will be back in New Hampshire selling lobster rolls. But he'll be over there. He'll be over there chilling with Jeff, man. He'll be over there chilling with Jeff at the Raider games, interviewing him. Oh no, he's not in New Hampshire. He's in New England. My bad. Around there. I think they're all together over there. Close. But my expectations, with his athleticism, to be honest with you, his athleticism and what he can do is what you want in a player, but he needs to develop, man. He needs to develop into a running back, not a. You want your running back to catch passes off play action, but you need to run the ball to let that happen. So your main concern is running the football, not going out there to the flat every time. You're going to get covered. And so he doesn't master avoiding tackles. He masters that fumbling the football right now, in my book. That's what he was good at. I'll go on till 12:30, guys. It's 12:16 right now. So is there anything else you guys want to ask me or say? I haven't finished my stogie yet. Kind of taking it slow. Say, Kev, New Hampshire, New England. Same thing. Yeah. I said it for you. What up, Raider Twine, my boy? How you doing, bro? I hope you got what you wanted. I hope you got connected. Give us some time. See what's up. Busy, man. Got a new thing going on right now, so give us some time. It'll be good. What I'm hearing, that's getting pretty bad, though. I'll talk to you about it if you want. I saw Louis at Walmart as a greeter. Yeah, he just might do that, but it was just the expectations of him and what people were saying. I don't know if it was a joke, but we do that. Yeah, Twan, that escalated a little bit. So not on our end, but their end. It's why. That kind of makes me not. I shouldn't say it. It kind of makes me upset with the whole thing. SoCal Sal, he took McDaniel's job because but I appreciate all the love, bro, you give us. New Hampshire, New England, same thing. What y'all got? The chat's on fire. Yeah, it is, man. You get at me. We talked about the stance. We talked about what we think that the offense is going to be about, what the defense needs to do. We talked about, do you guys want to get into special teams? We'll talk about that. What we think about our picks, I expect a lot from Dorian Porter. I think he could get in there and play get some reps. It's a big kid too. Did we see how big these guys are? But we're not gonna have a problem stopping the run with these dudes like this. The only thing I'm worried about is coverage. You're always worried about coverage, but stopping the run, I think that's gonna be way limited than what we did last year. We were at a game, the first game of the season, Charger game. We went there, man. We had 6 yards rushing in the third quarter. Bad. Gravy, who was your surprise cure? It's coming. Surprise cut? If it's going to be a surprise for you, I think it's going to be it's either Parham or Mumford in my book. I won't be surprised if Lobby's gone, Luby's gone. I wouldn't be surprised if we get rid of Zamir White. I wouldn't be surprised but Parham or Mumford will be a surprise because that's depth, and you always got to have depth in the realm of the offensive line, and then maybe somebody might be out there. Reason why we got Kappa, reason why we got 2 offensive linemen in the draft. They're not happy with what's going on there. And I think Glaze is a good guy to keep. He was rushed into a season, so we know that mentally Glaze is there. And that's tough to do, man. Being a tackle, being a right tackle, a vision tackle like that, he did a good job. He stepped in and did a good job for a rookie. And then we say, oh, he got 8 sacks. So did Miller. Miller was a little bit, held back from injury, but there wasn't nothing wrong with him at the end of the season. They played well. That offensive line played well, especially when the Sincere McCormick, when you had a guy that was healthy, you had a guy that had speed, that had a little bit of get up to him. And that was the factor right there. A running game got into motion when Sincere McCormick was in there, and it changed my mind about him. We kept him on the sidelines for so long that this guy had an opportunity, but he got hurt, and that's a normal thing with Sincere McCormick, is that he always gets hurt, so he's not reliable. And when you get into the pros, reliability is just not letting the guy hang around and shit. They're like, what are you doing for me? That's the way the pros are. You can't hang on to these guys and, once a Raider, always a Raider, and then he's going to suck somewhere else. But what did he do for the Raiders? Well, he had, 300 yards in 5 games. Cool. That's more than all these guys put together did. The room was bad, but I think that's going to change. That's going to change. What side of the ball will be better on offense or defense? What side of the ball will be better? The offense? I think the offense is going to be different. Starting with the philosophy. Starting with who we got in there calling plays. Known to be good at that. We didn't see that from Getsy. We didn't see that from Turner. Where his dad got involved in it. That's why they did that. They weren't. That's all they had. Was this guy, because he knew the quarterbacks, and the quarterback was Aiden O'Connell. He worked with Aiden O'Connell all the time because it was a backup. That's who he works with. He works with the development of the quarterback was Aiden O'Connell. It wasn't Minshew, because Aiden O'Connell was young. Our quarterback coach is working with. I forgot his name. But working with our starter, and he's working with Gino, and he's working with Aiden O'Connell as the backup. So he has to concentrate. He has to concentrate with Aiden O'Connell to make him better, because I see a real big drop off and a different type dude if something happens to Gino, and I'm hoping that doesn't happen. And that's one of these young guys take control. If one of these young guys take it over and take control of it, then I'll be happy with letting Aiden O'Connell go, because I don't want Aiden O'Connell running over here trying to get out the way again, because it's going to be bad for us. But I hope Aiden O'Connell gets better. He's not that bad of a quarterback, no matter what I say about him. He made things happen, but the bad things were brought up too. I just don't think that it's going to be anything different with him. He's been there too long, and he hasn't improved at all. He starts and he gets better by he's in the game, but just back up, bro. That's what you got to do. I don't be surprised if he's in the UFL with them next year. The defense had 3 big holes, not in order. The linebacker, slot corner, free safety. Yes. We don't know who's we say Darnay Holmes. He did an adequate job, at the end of the season doing that. But he's no Hobbs. We felt Hobbs not being there. I don't know if anybody's seen that. But Hobbs was he's good at what he does. And then Green Bay got him, and then they're just hoping that he's the man that he was for the Raiders. You can tell that when Hobbs was in there. And you can tell when he wasn't. You can tell when he wasn't. Because in the beginning of the season when Hobbs was playing, the middle of the field was opened up as much because he would cover a tight end, he would cover a slot receiver, and it was just another route that would be right in the middle of the field. Our linebackers didn't drop back to get that, or our safeties weren't there enough to get that. It works all the way. That scheme is so you're good at the attention that these guys need to learn. You guys need to learn. Defense, he's been there long enough. Then why was our defense that last in major categories last year? Bottom three in major categories. Because that's why I wasn't with Graham coming back. Because we had problems with third down stoppage, red zone stoppage. He was involved in that. His scheme was there. So I don't know what tweaks, Carroll's gonna to motivate him to change, but from what I've seen forever is that he's a zone guy. If you very rarely if you're a balling out ass corner, you can play press, but you're pretty much gonna see nickel, and that can stop the run with corners, but you need more linebackers in there, man. If you want to stop the run, you need more guys. You got 4 up front, but if they're good, then you don't have to worry about the secondary. If you get to the quarterback, it makes your secondary better. Linebackers, we just need to improve on. Jack Kenner, hopefully Amari Gaynor. Amari Gaynor has the opportunity to shine. I thought that the other guy, he just didn't do nothing when he had the opportunity. Amari Gaynor did more when he had the opportunity than the other guy. That's why he's not with us now. Yeah, Hobbs I was disappointed that Hobbs got a lot of money for what he does, but I didn't expect us to sign him, but he was worth it. Well, check it out, Raider Nation, man. Everybody that was in here, I want to thank you guys for being with me. It's time for me to go hit the medication, time to do the things that I need to do. But I appreciate you guys for being here, man. I appreciate you very much. Until tomorrow at 10 o'clock, make sure you get the Coach Gravy Stogie with Gravy show. I don't know if it'll be a stogie, but there'll be coffee involved. So I want you guys to have a wonderful rest of the day. And always, let's go Raiders. Peace out, people.